the draft as game number 3 is ready to be played. We are going to Volskaya Foundry. Leftovers with the choice. Team Dignitas will have first pick. Boy.
And this again is another map that we have seen in the best of 5 series between Leftovers and Dignitas in the regular season. And back then, as we stated before, Leftovers were not able to take a single map. This is also the map where Dignitas is just absolutely amazing. It's 7-0 in regular play, and they dominate here.
They really do, and I think they've already played it in this tournament as well and won as well, so they're probably on something like 8 or 9-0 at this point. I don't have that stat in front of me, but this is a brave call by Leftovers bringing Dignitas here.
It's also a form of comfort too. Since the inception of Volskaya Foundry, Leftovers have always came to this battleground. They've experimented here, but they are comfortable in this battleground. So while Dignitas has a great track record, this is a good place for Leftovers to go, especially with them being down 2-0.
You're absolutely correct. They picked the map 6 times. So in nearly every single series, they were the ones picking Volskaya Foundry. They like to play here, and it's a comfort pick for them. And to be quite fair, are there any bad maps on Dignitas side that you can pick where you can explore that? Not really.
Like
so
this guy, I think, has 50% of 2 games, and Tomb was their other only loss in league play, so it's not so bad. Every map's good for them.
Exactly. So this might be a bit of a power pick, but at some point, especially in the best of 7, you have to face them there. And if you're trying to approach that from a second pick position, which is definitely what they practiced, then this is the way to go about it.
Cursed, sorry, is the map I was thinking of there, which is the 1-and-1 map for Dignitas. So now, we're seeing that Medivh banned out. It was banned out 15 times since the Reina rework. That's how many times that Leftovers themselves have banned it out, and now it's on about 20-something bans in this tournament.
But someone who does make it through the ban phase is Yorel.
Oh boy.
The moment that's available, Dignitas will take it up, or Wubby.
And can we just mention quickly that Diablo is actually banned out?
Yeah.
I mean, we all expected it, but still pretty important that Mobsio got that hero denied to him. But of course, as you mentioned, this allows Yorel again. And one of the key strategies for some teams was really try and deny Yorel to Wubby. Yorel has such a huge impact, especially for clumped up team fights, and that's oftentimes what you see on Volskaya. That level 4 talent, the extra armor when you go in, is just so impactful. And Wubby in particular has been playing fantastic on the hero. So again, a very early pick here on Yorel for them, going for the GOAT, whereas we have Muradin and Phoenix picked up on the other side.
Going to see the Sergeant Hammer with that Johanna frontline, an incredibly tanky frontline with Yorel and Johanna. Means Hammer's going to have a pretty reasonable time. And it gives Dignitas the opportunity to ban out the Chromie if they're scared of that from Leftovers, as that has been a go-to for a lot of the teams. Genji has slipped through the picks and bans up until now, but Dignitas haven't really played it that often in the regular season, but Leftovers are still trying to avoid it.
We also still have Deckard Kane out. Stukov is another hero that we've seen a bit more on the Volskaya Foundry in particular, just simply because he can control the space around your objective so much better and can try and get these kills. That was actually something that especially Diablo players in previous games experienced here. But normally that also comes together with the tether that you're seeing from IF, which we do not have here. So we'll see if that maybe even comes through. Chromie gets banned out, and at this point, Leftovers, they can go into Deckard Kane again if they really want to. They already have the hero for DAB, but they're still looking for the offlane, and that's Blaze, who is, of course, just so symptomatic for this map. He's just fantastic for space control, on-point position, and therefore an immediate Blaze pick for them.
And of course, this entire composition empowers that Purification Salvo from Phoenix, Thunderclaps, Oil, and of course that Heradric Cube. They have a huge setup for Phoenix and a pretty reasonable frontline to defend it, whereas Dignitas, they don't currently have any dive potential. They're very focused on zone control.
Protection for that hammer. I would love to see the Stukov to really add on top of that. As you were mentioning, we did have Stukov with the massive shove chosen earlier to take any tanks that might be coming near her and pushing her away.
Whoa! Yes! Yes!
Wait, Josh, is this correct? We are getting a Gaslow in the grand finals of the Western Clash.
And you prepared your entire life for this one moment. You're not casting.
If I had papers, I would throw them in the air. Oh, man.
Okay, Gaslow. Controlling space. It's what he does. Setup is good for him. But against a Sergeant Hammer who can rage down those turrets and destroy them?
Whichever one gets set up first might have a pretty reasonable time. If Gaslow can get set up and the rest of the team can zone away, Muradin has to be very far forward. I mean, it's still going to require Hammer to stutter forward. Hover Siege will help with that, but This is absurd. A full laser build as well. It's very long-range poke
Sure.
that can actually damage the Sergeant Hammer. I'm sorry, I'm revealing my Gazlo knowledge here very quickly. I like to give him the clamps, all right?
Right. I mean, Gazlo is going to have a hard time setting up here, so it's making me lean a little towards Robo Goblin and just straight up pushing down lanes.
The armor as well could also help you rush in.
Haldor, what do you think about that?
I'm just out of that discussion.
We're over here going
So Beck, you two got this.
We're shocked.
It's a draft.
It is a draft.
It's
That
a
is
draft.
correct.
I honestly could see them maybe trying to go for maybe some split push strategies here. You have Blaze on the opposing side, trying to clear out the lanes, using Robo Goblin a little bit. If you do have that armor and that movement speed, you can move in and force a fight. Let's go into it. We got a Gazlo in the grand finals. J-How, Gilly, did you expect this?
Do we expect the clamps? No.
Trixler, no, okay. Look, Trixler, I got you. I know that we are more of those niche style picks. I got you on this one. I will break it down as we go through. But Mobsio let a little slip. He's like, look, there's a special hero on Volskaya. We've tried it. This is it. This is the time, but I can't believe we're getting it right now.
All or nothing now as we have Gazlo coming in with the clamps. Are you guys pumped for Gazlo?
I better hear some clamps chants when Gazlo gets that first kill because it is inevitably coming. I can rest assured on that one. But Dignitas will be standing in their way, trying to go up 3-0 in this best of 7. JPL protecting that front line on the Johanna, of course. Wubby on his Urel. Poik on Sergeant Hammer. Snitch on Junkrat. And Zelia on Stukov. Give it up for Dignitas.
And in the red, Boss playing Blaze, DAB on Phoenix, Linked playing Deckard Cain, Blakitney playing the clamps, Gazlo, and Mopsio playing Muradin. It is Team Leftovers. Time is money, friends, so let's get into it.
Extra TNT.
Oh yeah!
The Explodium charge damage by 10% per target hit, up to 100%. Now, the fun part about Gazlo is that you can go into this build. This is something that we've seen Stitch's players used when you try and get that cooldown reduction with other talents so you can stack up other quests. For Gazlo, he has one to where whenever he gets stunned, he gets to drop that Explodium charge. Johanna's Condemn has a mini stun, so every time he might willingly walk into that just to get that Explodium charge out. It's great zone control. You can also, of course, spread that laser towards the back towards Hammer. There is so much I have never seen in this type of environment, so I'm excited to see how this build plays out.
I never thought in my life I would cast a Sergeant Hammer versus Gazlo game in the grand finals of a Western Clash. I'm pretty pumped too, and you know who else is pumped? We have a camera operator who has been for a long time preaching the good word of Gazlo. He's pretty stoked to have Gazlo in this game. I'm going to leave that up to you in your capable hands, our Gazlo analysis.
Look, I love me some Gazlo. There's so many fun builds out there, but this one obviously more towards the competitive scene. We'll see how it plays out again at level 4, likely to go more into that Explodium charge. Those turrets, if you're not a Gazlo player, those turrets that you put down, those are your Q ability. You can target those. It was a change made a long time ago. You can target whoever you want with those. You just have to press that one key or whatever you have it over. So priority target can be there. It can control the front line. Even at level 7, you can go into multiple attacks or slowing attacks for more control. We'll see how it plays out.
J-How, do you agree that it might be Robo Goblin here? Because I'm just looking at what Leftovers have along with this, and it feels like Gravel Bomb can set up so well for a stay a while, for a Purification Salvo, to have these really impactful heroic abilities.
Well, it scares me because the mobility of Junkrat, obviously Hammer's level 4 I hear is pretty strong.
Yes.
There is setup potential, but it kind of requires that perfect storm, and it's on such a long cooldown. I'm excited to see how it goes. Oh, by the way, hold on a second. This is not in the Explodium charge. We are straight up hired goons, Gilly.
Yeah, so I've seen another team play a Merc Lord style strategy, and it was, I think it was Team Liquid or Team Dignitas, one of the teams playing Vikings. No, it would have been Team Dignitas versus Apather, and a lot goes around this assault camp, trying to get, it's all top lane focus. We'll see how much they devote to the control point because of that, but a lot of this is going to be top lane focus, trying to get the most out of that assault camp.
Okay, this is going to be, I'm on a huge stage, and I'm pretty sure this is correct. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure these work for turrets as well on this map. It's a weird, unique strategy. I've never really played it myself. I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that works on those. We'll see if that does come into play.
Leftovers have a turret, and then the heal pulse went over to Dignitas. They dropped their turret down so they can get the initial capture of the control point, while still making sure that with Junkrat and Urel, they're still getting soak in both of the other lanes. This is something that Dignitas does very well on Volskaya Foundry. It's one of the many reasons why they're so strong on this map, is they do draft these kinds of heroes like Phoenix or Junkrat, who can be that pseudo-second solo laner, so they're always making sure to keep up with the soak in every lane and start to amass an experience advantage.
Leftovers definitely wants the level 7 to contest this. At least stronger. They need to try and force Dignitas off, but JPL holding point. If they can force him off, they can buy time and keep this neutral while they soak 7, and then their turret camp will come up here in a moment, and they can play around that. So there are ways to go into this. They force them off. This is a very good play by Leftovers, establishing control while they spend some time soaking up level 7.
82%, but now Leftovers starting to climb up. Trying to keep a hold for as long as they can with Mopsio, who can take some damage before he goes out and heals up from his trait. That's one of the big benefits in having Muradin or other sustaining type heroes on this map, like Thrall even, that have their own self-sustain. Leftovers starting to go back into action. The self-unstoppable's been burned from Poik, and overtime is forced.
Here we go, Leftovers stepping forward. Those slows are what is picked up, that engine gunk on those turrets. So when they auto, they will give that slow. And speaking of slows, well, Stukov's doing his job, keeping control of that front line. We are in overtime. How much Leftovers is willing to go there? And that is the turret. It's
Giant.
Juiced up right there.
Stim drone for turrets, who would have thought? But Poik still firing down on Leftovers. Enough that overtime ends, and Dignitas is the victor in being able to pick up Wubby with a beautiful Avenging Wrath in the bottom lane. Gives them the body block necessary to get 1 kill, and then Deckard Cain went down to 2 kills for Team Dignitas, gives them a level lead, and they are likely to further that with this Protector.
Yeah, when you get in this position, Gilly, this Protector, you don't just get walls anymore. You push all the way through a priority lane and you get fort, and that's how the snowball continues. Because you're so close to 10 and you've established such a lead, it makes it almost indefensible on the side of Leftovers, so they have to concede quite a bit. And level 10 will be picked up on the tail end of this. 25 seconds left on this, but this fort should fall by the time it's done.
Leftovers starting to move in. Wubby now has a heroic ability, and Johanna and Stukov will be coming back from this. Mopsio took a whole bunch of damage from the Protector. It goes down, Wubby jumps in, Goomba stomps down for a 2nd kill, and the body block should take out this 3rd. Link gets hit by a BFG all the way from the bottom lane, as we see Team Dignitas firing on multiple lanes at once.
Well, I mentioned that it was almost indefensible. Leftovers had other ideas, ended up costing them a double kill at the expense of a few heroics where Team Dignitas did stay around. Ardent Defender, as Wubby took quite a few shots, but Dignitas will end up taking down this fort, at least we think that they will, as this next minion wave moves in. And now that experience, we are looking at a 2.5 level lead in favor of Dignitas.
And this whole time, Poik has just been in the bottom lane sieging away. He takes down the full wall there. Nice knockback. Already had used his Neosteel plating to avoid the jet propulsion. Needed to make sure to knock back as when Muradin comes in there too for the Storm Bolt. Poik handling the front line adeptly of the Leftovers. Leftovers doing all that is possible now to claw their way back into the game, because they are quite behind Team Dignitas.
For Leftovers, they have picked up level 10. Will it be Robo Goblin, or will it be the big old potentially black hole by level 20 if they get there? But Gazlo holding that. It is. We got Robo Goblin. He is going to be in that melee range, giving them the clamps. It sounds weird, but Gazlo's auto attacks after this are incredibly strong. So we'll see if he can bring the pain as well as that hired goons along with those turrets.
Also making sure to stay up in the top lane for the time being so that he can take out the assault camp and get their own. We've got a Planet Cracker, similar to the BFG. We've got long-range missiles for both sides.
It's like, Hammer, if you're going to stay there, I'm going to shoot you. Hammer will just press E and walk away, but it's still a warning shot nonetheless.
Well, Lornado might be able to bring her closer to the action if Leftovers can make that happen. Team Dignitas keeping the siege going and trying to finish what Poik started. Stun stopped, knocked back. Team Dignitas gets 13. Leftovers gonna have to contend with that.
I'm still in awe that I'm seeing a Gazlo in this game because I'm like, all right, well, they can, well, hold on, we've got a Gazlo. But right now, the wave clear in for Team Dignitas between that Johanna and the Sergeant Hammer just too strong for Gazlo to really get that split push value. It's just a matter of holding on, getting those turrets, having some turrets of your own, and trying to get into position. There's going to be the Lornado. Unable to get into position as Poik able to sidestep with that unstoppable.
Yeah, Mopsio started that off with the Stormbolt that forced her Neo Steel plating, but even with that, Lornado not catching Poik. Not yet for Leftovers, but the setup, very important when you're playing Gazlo to get into position for a point control like this. You can start to set up all of those turrets.
Wubby, he walks forward, tries to get the takedown on that, and is able to accomplish that. Again, those turrets do get the slow, but they are being targeted by the long-range poke potential of Poik. There is a way to get extra range on those later in the game. We'll see if that does come into play. Right now, Leftovers moving aggressively forward without that 13 talent here. Junkrat still showing middle. For Dignitas, they're more than okay with conceding a little while they get an advantage elsewhere on this map.
They did force back Wubby long enough to start the channel. Blakitny may be in danger. Lornado's gonna help him. Mopsio and Blakitny on one side, looking for a pincer attack with the Gazlo.
Gazlo comes in, he's trying to give him the clamps. Again, those Robo-Goblin attacks do hit hard, but Sergeant Hammer and team, they are hitting back the hired goons on that turret. It's peppering it down, and they're trying to hold position. Blakitny is in there. Wubby somehow surviving, does have that Ardent Defender, but we've got the Root on the other side. Zalia comes in with the big play, and that's going to result in a double.
A follow-up explosive ending to that, unless Team Dignitas can get more. There is no fort to retreat to for the Leftovers, and this is linked. This is Deckard Cain being chased down as if, just in case, a mine tosses him back into Team Dignitas. Triple kill for Dig.
There's just sprays from, it seems like, every team that's represented some type of rivalry towards Dignitas. Leftovers, they're getting them down, but Dignitas, they say, hey, look, we've got our own spray. They represent themselves incredibly well. 15, nearly 13 for Leftovers, but this next Protector will start to siege up towards the bottom. We'll see how effective that is and whether Dignitas can get a keep. But what we have seen teams do before, Dignitas in particular, is they don't just get a keep at these moments. If they can find an opening, they will look for a kill and try and end the game early.
We saw the instance of Planet Cracker from DAB, but it wasn't under the best of terms. It was after Team Dignitas were hopping in for an engagement and already had a couple of people low. We'll see if the setup for Leftovers can be better to get something off of that, but it's not going to be up now for 30 more seconds to help maybe bring down a Protector or just try to give them a kill with the stun lock that the team does have.
The damage coming out, the laser helps take down one of those turrets from Gazlo. Gazlo and team, they're holding on. He's gonna shoot the laser out here, try and survive as this Protector, very patient with a 3-level lead, is Dignitas.
Leftovers starting to group up. Mopsio takes some damage from the Blunt Force Gun and the Protector. Keeps still healthy. Hard to make it in here versus a Deckard Cain and the Gazlo and all of his turrets.
He's rooted. That does drop the Explodium charge. He did pick up that level 13. They have held so far in this. Their keep is still standing for Dignitas. You expected more. There's going to be the Blast Shield, though. Instant blow up onto Muradin. The Planet Cracker in return, but that is a kill.
And Dignitas still have such a lead with 3 levels, trying to take down this keep if they can. Now that Muradin's out of the way, it is a little bit easier, but it's still 20 seconds out until he'll be back for Leftovers to try to help with this defense. Dig feels very confident now with that kill that they can get this keep.
They have managed to take it down. It wasn't as easy as they anticipated it to be, but they have established dominance on this map. Gilly, 17, almost 18 for Dignitas. They will very likely be 20 at or near the next control point. Leftovers has such a mountain to climb. I'm trying to think where they can possibly get back in this game, but it comes at the invade points. And when both of those camps by Dignitas will get picked up momentarily, you're basically out of options. Dignitas will have to massively overstep for Leftovers to try and find a pick in this next few minutes.
And another major problem is with that keep down, we all know where the next control point's going to go. It's control point C in the bottom. And with 16 being there for Dignitas so far ahead, they're feeling pretty good to go in and try to get the score. JPL gets a big condemn on the back line of Leftovers. Shove is going to force back Pody Boss so that he doesn't have that follow-up stun. Can't get on the back line in the slows the same way in case Dignitas needs to make a hasty retreat.
Mopsio forced a dwarf toss out. Ardent Defender has been used. Bunker down as well. We see the Explodium charges going around everywhere. Unable to do so. There's going to be another one that dropped. But members of Dignitas starting to drop. There's one. There's two. There's three. And now Dignitas starting to jump in, trying to make plays. Even Snitch getting in on the action with some Ripper Air, trying to make some plays.
Pody Boss, mined back out. Knocked back in. Shoved back in. Taken down. That was just dirty.
I almost feel bad for watching that. That was insane. Dignitas making the plays. Catapult starting to approach the top. Dignitas in no hurry to end this game. It's not worth risking it. Death timer still low on the side of Leftovers, but opening up this keep is just potentially opening up the victory march for Dignitas. Control point moments away. But for now, Dignitas in complete control of this game.
Yeah, I was worried about Catapults in the top when Leftovers were going to have to look for a fight, hang down bottom. Now, I'm more concerned about the 4-level lead that Dignitas has indeed amassed. And if they can, they'll just use that to get a win.
There's another one. There's Mopsio trying to get to the backside. Planet Cracker's there, but Poik able to walk away. Zelia making so many plays. The roots, the setup, the heals, it's all there. But JPL manning the front line. Wubby going in, confirming another kill. They're continuing to lock multiple members down. Podyball's trying to walk away, but this is a master class right now by Dignitas as they are relentless in this game.
Dignitas have torn down the strategy of Leftovers with this Gazlo. 4 levels as they step toward the core of the Leftovers. With such a difference, the respawn timers are shorter, but Dignitas having Sergeant Hammer and having a Junkrat just siege up and start to siege down this core.
As much control as they'd like to have, it's just non-existent. As the shields have fallen, 90% is there. Mopsio and team just fighting desperately. Poik continues to pepper it down 70% and falling. Blakitny back here does have Explodium charges. The Lornado comes out. Starting to walk away is Dignitas, but Mopsio, another casualty of this defense.
Yeah, behind this, Dignitas have the minions, have the catapults. The shields have started to build back up. 70% is the core. Leftovers trying to figure out how to get this siege tank, this pesky Sergeant Hammer off of it, and it is not to be had.
And Blakitny, I think at this point, was just running in circles. There's the Planet Cracker, but at 20% and falling, it is inevitable. They are unable to crack this assault from Dignitas as they are going to go up 3-0 in this series, standing 1 game away from a perfect tournament and crowning themselves champions.
Well, we got the Gazlo. We did have it. Gazlo versus Sergeant Hammer. Never really... Yeah, that's my face too.
I think Zelia's face tells quite the story. Blakitny, he's like, look, we had some fun with it. They've still got a puncher's chance in this. They know that they have the aggression. We've already seen one reverse sweep. Accomplishing it against Dignitas will be a whole different story. If they can start taking games, we will see. But for now, 3-0 right now in this best of 7.
We'll see if Leftovers can bring it back. For the moment, we head back to the analyst desk to break that one down.
Dignitas goes up 3-0, but the sad part of this match is that the Clamps got canned.
Unfortunately, that draft sort of reminded me of good old-fashioned Goblin engineering, aka it looks really cool but fell apart in the first 2 minutes.
I mean, Leftovers really tried, but we looked at the game a little bit and isolated the moment where things actually went south for them, so when everything fell apart. And it's
you would do this.
Here.
Is that all you have to say?
Pretty much top-notch analysis. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
Yes, they weren't able to get much traction there. The idea, pretty interesting. Grab a couple of turrets, try to set up, get a level 4 to proc, and you control the space, but it just didn't pan out.
Bonus damage to the siege, slows with the turrets for Phoenix, the huge AoE defense with the extra bombs, and of course, when they get stunned, there's just more bombs.
Yeah.
In theory, it's great. But it turns out minimal micro is a really good way to deal with that.
Yeah, I think part of the issue too is we're playing against multiple ranged members. You have Sergeant Hammer, you have Junkrat, they clear out turrets easily. If we had been playing against a multiple melee team, 3 to 4 melees, that could have worked out. But I feel like they just had a draft and they just tried to force. What are you doing over there? Are you okay? You all right, Kaldor?
I'm fine.
Let's just go to a commercial here as Gaslo does not get the win. Dignitas is up 3-0. And if they can win one more game, they'll win the Western Clash.